Let's put it that way. Like many years ago, right? If you wanted water at home, like you need to go to the well, fill bucket, bring it back home, and you had water. Then we had pipes. So now you just open the tap, the water is just flowing. You don't think about it anymore. Now a lot of companies, they are still going to the well, fill the bucket with data, and bring it back home, to the company, and they just upload it in their CRM, whatever platform. They're still moving the data with buckets, basically. And on top of that, you need kind of an orchestrator, somebody or something who decides, now I will send this data to this place, get it enriched, I'll send it to the destination, and at the same time, I will need to keep track of what happened.
Man, thanks for being on the podcast. It's something we just recently started, and I definitely
Sure, yeah.
appreciate you being here. So, by the way, I was just having this conversation with colleague. Your name, Axel Ruiz. At first glance, I read it like Axel Rose, and I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Okay, right, yeah, yeah. Not the first time that happens. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that would be something, man. But no,
Cool.
sorry, I'm
Well,
not. I'm not that famous yet.
yeah, you will be. You will be probably.
Maybe one day.
Cool, well, man. Again, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to start with you telling us like what is the problem on the market that you saw that your company Datamorf is solving? Let's kickstart there.
Okay, let's straight to the point. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, so it all started with like I guess like most founders, like most technical founders, especially, started with a personal pain, right? Let's put it that way. Like many years ago, right? If you wanted water at home, like you need to go to the well, fill bucket, bring it back home, and you had water. Then we had pipes. So now you just open the tap, the water is just flowing. You don't think about it anymore. Now a lot of companies, they are still going to the well, fill the bucket with data, and bring it back home, to the company, and they just upload it in their CRM, whatever platform. They're still moving the data with buckets, basically. And I was one of those. And I was moving data. I was in RevOps, so I was moving data with buckets, like manually exporting something, then connecting something with Zapier and A10, something like that, which great tools, by the way. But it was not doing everything I needed to do for my case. So then I started to create my own custom scripts, like some cloud function here, some cloud function there, talking to another script. Anyway, and that kind of Frankenstein monster that I created started to evolve little by little. And at some point, I just added the UI in front. And, okay, I can use that really ugly UI, but I could use it at least. And that thing kept evolving. I changed jobs. I saw that this thing's still working here in this new company where I am not right now. So eventually, I just decided like I will jump in the swimming pool and check if there's water later. And I kind of created this thing and kept moving forward. But yeah, the pain was this thing, like the tools that I had available. Maybe now there are many tools right now, but the tools that were available by then, they were doing a lot of stuff, but not exactly what I needed. So I had to create my own version, and then that version evolved until what it is today. I don't know if
Okay.
it's clear, the
Well,
concept.
I would definitely like to know more because I think one of the main narratives behind Datamorph is that something was or is broken in GTM. So I would like to know what it is specifically that you saw there that needed a patch.
Yeah. Ooh, let's go to the camera. My personal case, it was the fact that I needed to export or to keep, let's say you need to keep the CRM data clean, right? Or you need to export CRM data and send it to some campaigns that you have. CRM and the outbound platform or whatever platform you're using. If you're using everything once, you're like using HubSpot and you have everything within HubSpot, fine, perfect. You don't have this problem, but that's likely not the case. Probably you have HubSpot, you have Instantly, you have HeyReach, you have Apollo, you have many tools, but you need to make them talk to each other. And on top of that, you need kind of an orchestrator, somebody or something who decides, now I will send this data to this place, get it enriched, I'll send it to the destination, and at the same time, I will need to keep track of what happened, right? Some kind of orchestrator. That's where what I built initially, and then it evolved into what it is today. Because with tools like Zapier, Make, all those, like you can react to events. Like you can, I don't know, whenever you create a contact, then you trigger this thing. Fine, you can do this thing, but then you miss the backfill, you miss the periodic refreshes, you miss some pieces, you miss the data activation part.
Mhm.
What if I want to set up a campaign with the contacts that have not been touched in the last 90 days, right? You need to go to HubSpot, export the list, go somewhere, upload it. If you could do that within one platform automatically, that thing solves a lot of, at least for me, for my personal case, that solved a lot of pains.
Yeah. So
Is that something that
yeah, yeah,
resonates with?
yeah. It kind of does. It kind of does. So I'm not on HubSpot, but for example, we use different tools. So I'm just wondering. I'm throwing in an idea, or rather a scenario your way. So let's say we have multiple different tools that are not really good at talking to each other.
Hmm.
So yeah, Apollo, Lemlist, and yeah, we used Clay for some time
Okay.
for enriching the
Yep.
data and for crafting thoughtful messages and all.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think currently we only use those, and we use Apollo as a CRM as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, not ideal, but it does what we need.
But it does the
So
job, right? So yeah.
yeah. So would you say that we are perfect or not really so candidate?
A perfect candidate, yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Probably. I'd say if you are using more than three or four platforms, you could be a good candidate to use something like Datamorf or like anything else, right? But since the Datamorf is what I know, I'll
Yeah.
talk about that. But yeah, you will need at some point you will need a system that reliably connects all
Mhm.
your tools because I don't know if you have some people operating on Apollo
Mhm.
and you need that something happens in Apollo to go to Clay, get enriched, and get back into Apollo, and then whenever it's the right time, get that data and send it to them list, right? You can do that manually, or you can have somebody who sets up the pipes, and then the data is just flowing whenever
Yeah.
it's the right time.
So do you rely on AI to do like this kind of decision making, but no?
No,
Okay.
no, no. On the AI, I think I'm a bit how's it called? Rowing against the tide, maybe,
Okay, yeah.
because I see a lot of good points of using AI, but at the same time, there are a lot of processes that don't need AI. A lot of decision making is just it's a condition like yes or no, or like does this thing match these filters? Yes, then move forward. Does it doesn't match, then stop it, or wait until they match the filters.
Mhm.
Is this contact, like more than whatever, you have an ICP score or something like that? It's more than 50. Yes, it's less than 50. No, that's it. You don't need AI for all these kind of things. And usually, like, depends on the volume, of course. If you are sending, I don't know, 100 messages per day, fine, use AI. No, not a big deal. But there are companies that are sending thousands of messages a day, LinkedIn, email, whatever, doing a lot of daily operations, like thousands, even millions. If you need AI to decide each step, that's big cost on AI, especially now that the
Sure.
AI prices are going up.
Yeah.
I'm sure for a lot of companies that's not a problem. That's justified as AI investment. But I don't know. There are a lot of things that it's just not necessary. You can
Yeah.
do the same even better with just classic coding, deterministic they call it now,
Yeah.
and it's a standard workflow with conditions and branches.
I see.
But again,
So
like I feel that the hype is going into this AI, agentic workflows that are
well, I
deciding
mean,
everything on the way.
yeah, yeah. I see your point and it does make sense, but it's not really applicable to everything.
No, of course not.
Yeah, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
what? Yeah.
It might the more you talk actually about the problem that you're solving and the product itself, I see that you're probably right. There's a lot of deterministic stuff there that you don't really need, like additional layer of decision making for you. If you can predict catch event or all catch all events and then have predefined, follow-up actions after that. I can
Mm.
totally see that you don't really need AI, but what about scaling? I mean, um, AI is definitely a buzzword. I mean, it became a buzzword just like crypto was before and so on,
Yeah.
right? But I can definitely see, on the other hand, a value in it, especially with this
There is a value.
agentic thing,
Yeah.
Um,
No, there is a value, especially in data analysis and that this kind of whenever you have the data, like also you have kind of a companion that
Hmm.
helps you understand what is happening. I see a lot the value of AI in terms of building the workflow.
Hmm.
Like somebody who helps you set up the connection. For example, N8N they did that really good. They have all these MCP connections and the API.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
talk with Cloud Code. Cloud will set up the N8N workflow. Then you will go to N8N, you will see it, and that workflow will run deterministically. That's that's probably one of the peak usage of AI, right? You don't need to have the skills or the knowledge, technical knowledge to set it up. Just need to know what you want to do and have a means to validate it. Then the AI will do the rest. And then the workflow will be running there deterministically.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I think that's perfect. But
I,
have the AI inside of the workflow. There are cases where it makes sense. There are cases where I don't know. I guess because I don't know. I like to code, right?
yeah.
Something I was it's more like it's a bit less GTM, more like development. I was talking with a lot of people, and they say like, yes, AI came, like that they're kind of making the developer work. They're kind of making us more efficient, like in some terms, or some other terms, like maybe just removing the juniors. But then it removed the coding part of of
Yeah.
of our job.
Yeah.
Like we went into this branch into the development because we like to code, and then AI is removing that from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, up to
I,
up
I
to a point. I guess there are many schools about that.
I saw a meme a few weeks ago, maybe a bit more. It's like someone in the kitchen, like, probably like woman in a kitchen, like baking, washing dishes, like cleaning, and she's like, so when is this AI gonna replace this work? Which is
Yeah,
actually, you know, when everything boils down to what you want to replace, what you want to remove from your everyday work, it's everything non-intellectual, because
yeah,
we are intellectual beings. We have this need of expressing in that way, whether it's coding or writing poems or, you know, so you
yeah.
don't want AI. Oh man, I have to play you something actually. I'm not sure how good you're gonna hear this, but I'll try anyways.
Let's see.
Can you hear it?
No,
No, doesn't matter. I'll share it with you actually.
yeah. What was
Like,
that?
yeah, it's uh AI album Soul. It's like I think they went for 50 Cent or maybe some other rappers as well, and they did
Okay,
this like um cover in soul style, but it's like 100%
and it's full
AI.
AI.
Dude, you wouldn't believe it's like
Yeah, that's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
that
crazy
that
good.
part is crazy.
Yeah. So it's already doing something that I personally, and I'm sure like almost probably no human would like to see that. Uh, but yeah, that's the problematic part, right? Let me
Yeah,
see if I can maybe. Oh yeah, hold on.
yeah. Maybe you can share the screen with the audio, and then if you don't have anything open, that you cannot share.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid right now.
Just close
Uh,
all the
yeah.
weird things that you might.
Okay. Share, 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 share. Let's go. Okay, allow. Where are you? I guess I'll share entire screen because it's.
Blue great.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Now let's hope you'll hear it as well.
Let's see. No, I don't hear
No?
anything.
Uh,
Nope.
doesn't matter. I'll um I'll send it to you later.
Okay, yeah, Sonny, I'll check it later.
It's really good. Um, so yeah, I mean,
But
we kind of drifted over there, but
yeah,
it's
okay, yeah.
it,
So on that,
uh-huh.
go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's crazy how it's going towards the direction we don't really want it to go. but then what we really need automated and where we really need help, it doesn't do anything yet, you know. So yeah, I wanted to like dig holes for, you know, pillars for electricity and stuff like that. I wanted to do that, right? So put it in
Yeah.
a robot and replace me on the field, right? But don't take away
Yeah.
my intellectual work that I actually enjoy doing. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I don't know. I see. The thing is that it feels like the hype is going this direction, right? Like everybody on LinkedIn, on and everywhere they are talking about everything that they are achieving with AI. I'm sure a lot of people is doing really nice, interesting things,
yeah,
but there's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of hype. So
yeah.
at some point, you don't know what is real and what is not real.
Right,
So
right.
I
For
don't know.
sure, for sure, for sure. Oh, there, I'm
Yeah,
guessing you mean like those LinkedIn posts that are like RIP SDR. Here's what I did with,
that's the biggest example. Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
bullshit,
This thing.
man.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like, come on, no. And if you manage to replace your entire marketing team with Claude, with whatever prompt that you have, probably you, I don't know, why would you share it for free? Like, for,
there's
not for
that,
free, but but
there's that,
yes,
but you have to admit, but that it's really hard to, you know, get yourself in front of a prospect and sell AI automation because everyone's doing it. So you
yeah,
have to build authority, you know. So they're probably building authority and learning along the
yeah,
way, which is cool. I mean,
exactly,
that's
exactly. So it's a strategy behind. It's not that you actually fire 20 people
yeah.
because suddenly you don't need
And
them.
that's also stupid because I keep saying this on this podcast like at least once a week. But I really honestly believe that it's going to backfire. All these replacements are going to backfire in the future because with AI, I think the philosophy, that's like my opinion, the philosophy should be build more with what you have and shouldn't be like build the same with less. Like fire people
Yeah,
and continue delivering same amount of whatever the
yeah,
product is that you're selling. So I think
correct.
that's, but I mean, we'll see. You mentioned something at the beginning that I think it's also important. The prices are going up. They're going up because, you know, a lot of these companies are actually working in, you know, they're below zero, far away from it.
Correct.
And at
Yeah,
some point, like big corporations will be the only, you know, entities capable of paying for quality AI
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I don't know how where there's kind of this race, right, between the big players here, and then
Mhm.
all the other companies, even if they are quite big, but they are not basically companies that are investing in implementing AI in their own company, right? Not investing in actually building training the models.
Yeah.
Those ones, like I don't know, like at some now they have this cost and they expect this, I don't know, this revenue, like have a return of investment. But then if the cost starts to multiply, like and not by 1.5 or 2, they can multiply 5, 6, 10 times.
Yeah.
Then like it will be hard to justify the return of investment. But at the same time, they need to stay in the wave of AI, right? So they need to stay, keep putting money there.
Yeah.
And for a company like mine, of course, we cannot invest millions in that. We are a really small company. So just need to see what is happening, do our best, try to stay there, not get disconnected. Because even if I'm kind of venting a lot here about AI, like I still use it, right? I
Yeah.
still like it. I know there's a lot of potential. So yeah, I guess we just need to keep
Yeah.
going.
Well, I think we have to be smart because yeah, it's good to acknowledge that you're venting, but it's also good to acknowledge that everything is going that way, right?
Yeah, it is.
So,
It is.
I mean, I was doing this research months or 2 months ago, can't remember, um, and about this term, you probably heard about it, dark factory pattern. Dark, yeah,
I hear. Yeah, I
yeah,
hear. Yeah, don't remember, but I heard about it.
yeah. Dark factory pattern is significant in currently in software development processes, where you have AI system which only needs your common sense to describe the end product properly. And then it has
Mhm.
internal like loopbacks that will eventually deliver the product without a human like touching the code and doing
Mhm.
anything aside from like describing, you know, what you need.
Yeah.
And so it works on its own essentially to deliver whatever the product is expected at the output. And while doing this research, I found that like Claude Code at the time uh, written 90% of its code. It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't built or coded
Mhm.
by people. And
Okay.
like dozens of like service companies who would, otherwise like employ dozens or hundreds of people, they went full on this dark factory pattern where they don't have, coders doing anything. They have software architects that are describing, customers' end product
Yeah.
detailed enough for it to be successful in producing the results in the end. So, it already spiraled in a direction that we weren't able to like predict like a year ago. So
Yeah.
imagine
That's true.
another year, it's definitely going it's going places.
It's going, yeah, it's going places. Yeah, that's why we need to stay there, stay connected
Yeah.
and try to, I don't know, like face it as better as good as we can.
So what you're saying is you used like zero effort on vibe coding. It's like you built for
No,
Datamorph.
no, yeah, I build it myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to so I'm using AI for some really isolated cases
Hmm.
internally, for the product. But I like to still have control or understand still every piece, every
Yeah.
single piece, and how things are connected inside. I don't know, maybe you can call me, I don't know. I don't think this is old school. I think a lot of people is still in the same mood, but
Yeah.
I do have full control of what is happening and just use AI for really isolated tasks.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's making you efficient, it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people say it's not efficient, and you just need to span 10 agents and let them take care of everything. But I don't know. I enjoy doing it,
Yeah,
right?
well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I,
want to do stuff that makes you happy. You don't want AI
correct.
replacing that. I mean,
Correct. Exactly. Then exactly. I don't want to be babysitting 10 agents.
yeah,
Actually, I like to be the one, like pressing the keys.
yeah.
But
What
yeah,
was
I guess a
the
balance, somewhere in the balance, like having the AI sometimes when you are, I don't know, bored with something, when you are stuck with something, when you are like doing some repetitive function, something, you can use the AI for that. And then when you have to do the fun thing, then you can
yeah?
do it.
Who's your ICP, by the way?
Right now, we're pivoting a bit on on that, but on that we are right now any company that is SaaS, a B2B SaaS or even B2C SaaS, whatever, that is using more than three, four, or even five tools, SaaS tools.
So
Say, for example,
industry doesn't matter. So
not really. No, I thought the industry we were targeting some specific industries, but then we realized comparing with the clients we have right now, we don't have a
mhm,
lot, but we have started to have some. We saw they are like each customer is from a different industry. It's not relevant.
mhm,
Industry is not relevant. The only relevant thing is that they need to have systems in place, even if they are not efficient. They either have the system or they are aware that they need a system and need to be sorry, don't know how to talk. They need to be using multiple tools at the same time. Let's say CRM, enrichment, outbound, and something else.
mhm,
If you're using three, four, or five tools or more,
yeah,
that is when you can use it. If you're using only one, it makes no sense.
yeah. No, I understood at the beginning when you said like who's the perfect um, company for Datamorph, but I was just wondering
Mhm.
if you're targeting some specific ICP there or it's like
No,
you're
we're
open.
exploring. We're still exploring.
What works
But
for you,
this
by the way? Is it inbound sales or outbound? How do you manage to onboard new customers?
initially it was mainly referrals,
Mhm.
and now it's LinkedIn outbound.
Oh, wow, okay.
And
Because
we
I
are
will,
starting to do some. Sorry, go on.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, I interrupted you. Go on.
Yeah, no, and we are starting to do some events, in-person events, and stuff like that,
Okay.
which
How,
is good considering everything is online, and when you go to an in-person event, you can meet people face to face. You can actually touch them.
yeah. So
It feels different.
tell me about this event that you're organizing. So is this like something formed around Datamorph or something more general or how?
No, I'm not organizing any event. so far.
Okay.
I'm just going to events that people is
Oh,
organizing.
oh,
I'm
okay.
my
Okay.
attendee.
Okay, I see.
Sometimes I'm even doing a pitch or something, but just going there and do some networking. But
You
yeah,
may
but we
you may definitely want to think about organizing events. I mean, like webinars, stuff that's like
yeah,
online, easy accessible.
we're actually going to do a webinar at the end of the month, the end of May. I don't know when this podcast will be published, but at the end of May we're going to do one, but we're still figuring out
Yeah.
the details.
So did you, I'm interested in like why did you skip inbound or focus on inbound at all, or you just like do what you know how to do and you're focusing on that? Because this sounds like something that should be easily solved through inbound channels, no?
Correct. That's why now, so I like inbound more than outbound, but at the same time, I think it's harder for me because not what I worked in outbound before, so I
Hmm.
know how outbound works. Not so much inbound, but I prefer it because it's less intrusive. Like you're just maybe, I don't know, planting the seed to the people. You're offering something, and then in return, if it's interesting, they will come to you, right?
Yeah.
Outbound is more like aggressive in a way, like more intrusive. I don't know.
Yeah. But
So
it's
it still
also
works.
it definitely works. It's more targeted, but it's slower, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Outbound, sorry, outbound. You mean slower or inbound? Inbound is
I
slower.
think outbound is slower
You
because I
think?
mean you're targeting people and you're it's like a linear growth in a sense,
Yeah,
in terms of number of prospects. Whereas on
yeah.
inbound
Well,
you can plan uh and plant a campaign essentially and like start filling the funnel and like pulling only those that are qualified from it.
yeah.
Less effort, I think, and more quantity-wise, more leads probably from it.
Yeah, that's why we're going in that direction with the webinars and maybe some other strategies that we're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
What about
Uh,
you?
hmm?
What about you? Any experience with any
Um,
of these motions?
yeah. Well, I mean, we're service business, so we do a lot of cybersecurity, cloud, and infrastructure consulting, and it's it's mainly outbound because of the nature of the service and the business
Yeah,
itself, really. Um, yeah, referrals are kind of the big one. Um, I
yeah.
mean, if
Referrals are
it,
the best, honestly.
well, every time that you're selling something that's not subscription based, that it has a high ticket entry, people wanna do their due diligence to make sure they know who
Hmm.
they are, jumping in a relationship with. They wanna check your references,
Yeah,
and it's not something you can easily sell through inbound, I think. So at least
yeah,
that's what we learned, at least so far.
yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What was the hardest thing for you to build here?
To build in terms of the actual building, or the product you mean, or building in terms of the company?
I'm just trying to, understand the entire story around Datamorf. So I
Yeah,
have
because I
all
think
these pieces, and I'm just wondering, like, what was the hardest thing for you?
I think for me, building the product itself is not hard because what I said before, I enjoy that part, right? And now hopefully I have a small team of people that can help me craft the like, better UI, that it looks better, it's
Hmm.
better user experience, all of that. So they make the designs, they make all, I say we work together, and then I can focus on coding. That part is not hard because I enjoy it. The hardest part is how do you actually convince people that your product is better than, the competitors.
Okay.
I guess there are a lot of people, like so for some people, that's actually the easy part, right? Where they have to talk. Guess what we're saying, depending on the type of person you are. Introvert, I guess, will prefer more than what I'm saying. Extrovert will prefer more the other part. So for me, the hardest part is actually convince people. Like I need to convince you to use it. That is
So
tough.
so
That is tough.
sales
We're getting there. So, yeah.
sales in general is a challenge essentially.
For me personally, yes. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
you need to always partner with the right people that is complementary to your skills. So I'm really good at building stuff. So I need somebody who's really good at selling stuff. then combined, then we make a good team. This camera is crazy, like it's going like all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, not
But
sure
yeah,
what's with that. So sales,
but
yeah.
does that make sense or?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, I
Okay,
mean,
good.
I'm an introverted person and I know exactly
Hmm.
what you're saying. So sales, but not for the same reasons on this, honestly, because when I get to a point to actually talk with someone who's potentially interested, I don't have problem with that, or explaining
Okay.
the differences or advantages, this and that.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just the effort of mingling and going to conferences and then like flying a few times a month and all of this effort is so exhausting,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
That's my biggest problem when it comes to sales, I think.
yeah.
And
It is really exhausting.
maybe also positioning at the right time with the right people. Sometimes, especially in service industry, you don't know who's going to be interested in working with you, if that's going to be like director of XYZ, or it's going to be
Hmm.
VP, or it's going to be an engineer who, has influence with leadership, and then they can recognize, hey, we can actually benefit from their service. So yeah, positioning in front of the right people at the right time, that's also.
Yeah, yeah. That's complicated. That's why like we try to kind of compensate for that with this signal-based engines. A lot of at the end, you need to talk to people, right? But when to talk to people, that's really key, especially when you're doing outbound. Like the timing is the key. So that's why we can try to compensate with that, building these sophisticated engines that are figuring out the right time to reach out to a specific person with the right message and everything. But at the end, you just pick up the phone, you call, like you might get a lot of data, especially at the beginning,
Mhm.
like when you're still figuring out a lot of stuff. Probably you already passed that part. We're still there. But yeah, it helps a lot. Just pick up the phone, you call, and then with all the objections you can build, you're kind of
Mm.
okay, this is the right thing. I need to search for that. And then you build a system around it.
So if you're doing cold calling, uh, don't you already have an ICP then? Who are you calling, right?
Yeah.
Who's first on your list?
Right now we are selling where for the cold calling, I'm not calling myself. I
Hmm.
have a partner that is doing the calls. I'm providing him the list of leads and he's just calling. Right now we are starting, we're going again, it goes against what I said before, right? Because we're targeting one industry and just calling away 100 people from this industry. Let's see. And
Okay.
we are selling more like a project rather than a subscription only. We're selling the project. There's also something we noticed, like
Hmm.
a lot
How
of
does that
people
work?
don't want to learn like a new tool just for the sake of learning it, right? They want to solve their pain. And to solve the pain, they don't have time to invest in learning how this works, how to connect it. That's why we come in and say, don't worry, we can do it for everything for you. We'll just set it, we'll connect the pipes and everything with your platforms. We'll do that project for you. And
Mhm.
then there you go. And then you run it yourself.
Oh, wow. So
And
what you're
it's,
saying, you can implement your solution in my organization without me paying for subscription, but just the implementation itself, and then you're like,
no, so you pay the implementation and then the subscription
okay,
based on the
okay,
volume,
that
like,
makes sense.
which is, yeah, basically it's an additional service that a lot of people, a lot of companies prefer that because it means paying more, but it means working less, not deviating effort into that project.
Okay,
And
yeah.
so basically, it's the same thing. You're selling a service, and then the outcome at the end is like, don't worry, like the project I will not make a lot of money with the project because then we have the subscription, and that's where we want to be
Well,
with the subscription.
it's actually similar to when you have a project engagement pending, but then it's like the entire project is like, let's say 100K. So 100K it's going to be your cost for us to deliver whatever product you need. But what we can do is we can do like a workshop. And during the
Hmm.
workshop, we'll do a lot of different testing and project documentation. And then when we are done with that, we'll know like what the MVP is going to be, entire infrastructure, and all the nitty-gritty details for you to then see, okay, so I'll pay you for project for a workshop only, and then I can take documentation, or you as a customer can take this documentation and
Hmm.
everything and say, okay, I'll just build this in-house, or I'll just give
Yep.
it to someone else for cheaper to do that. Or you can say, okay, just deduct, the workshop price from the total amount, and we're good to go. So
Exactly.
it sounds like that.
Kind of like that. Yeah, basically offering the project, the implementation, so they don't have to do it by themselves. The setup, migration, maybe from another system, whatever.
Yeah. What's the
But
integration
yeah,
status
and
like? I didn't ask this, and I think it's important probably for you to mention as well. Like what are the tools you are able to connect with?
yeah. So right now we are focusing mainly on GTM tools. But again, Datamorf is an operational platform, right? So we're focusing on GTM because we see something we know how it works, and there are most of the platforms have APIs, so we can connect like HubSpot, Apollo, Lemlist instantly. I don't know. There are many. Of course, we don't have as many integrations as Zapier. Zapier, they have like 8,000 plus 8,000
Yeah,
integrations.
yeah,
I
something
think we have
crazy.
like 55, something like that, which is ridiculous compared to Zapier. But again, we are focusing on this like smaller niche,
Yeah.
and we are adding more integrations as they are needed. The thing. So if you one day you come and you say, hey, but I'm using this CRM that you don't have integrated, like no worries, just 2 3 days and we can have it up and running. So yeah, that's the thing. We're also starting to focus on add some integrations about ERPs and finance because there are some clients asking for that as well. So yeah, why not? We can do it. So the more
Interesting.
integrations, the better, actually.
Yeah, well, for sure, for sure. But then you have to be careful that everything that makes you special while being niched, then you might lose that, along the way when you start expanding. It might
Yeah,
actually be better to expand through different brand because you want people to know you that you are good in this and that. So they skip
yeah,
Zapier and they, go to Datamorf instead.
correct. Yeah, it's I would say it's not easy to find the balance,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
especially with this low number of integrations. But I think we can still add some more without losing the niche. There are many more platforms they're related with GTM that we don't have yet. So it's just a matter of keep building on top of that.
Did you hear like what do your customers say about their expectation out of Datamorph versus what they got?
Hmm.
Do you have like these like surveys for you to learn,
Yeah, actually I went to do a beer with a customer last week. Actually, probably is one of the best customers that we have, not in terms of revenue, but in terms of like commitment. And of course, I'll take that example, right? Because it's the best one probably. But they were extremely happy about the how this integration works. Basically, they set it up once and then they never touch it again, right? And I think that's a good thing, is that
Yeah.
they set it up once and the thing is working, it's not failing, it just does the job, and that's it. And they know that they have a system there that is moving the data from one place to another, and they can just work on this final place in the CRM, whatever, and they know that data is flowing. They don't need to touch it again. Sometimes they check, yeah, everything is fine, fine, let's go. And they were really happy because of that, because you sit there once and then you forget about that, and you know that data will be in where you
That's
expect it to be.
that's perfect way to describe what the SaaS or even entire IT industry is about. Like we are supporting industry for everything else that actually matters. They want to use your
Hmm.
product and focus on their business. They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to
Correct,
deal with your product. It's just supposed to work.
correct. That's the thing, and that's why they love it. Actually, this client is going to upgrade, so that's really nice. Like it feels good. I don't know, like as a small company,
Yeah.
that we are, like it feels really good to see somebody who's actually happy about it, and like you
This
you
actually,
you don't get that. I don't know, every day to get to do a beer, with somebody and like tell you like, man, thank you for what you did,
yeah.
because actually it saved a lot of time on my end.
This
That's
actually
good.
reminds me of a situation when long time ago we were building this um, customer satisfaction platform thing,
Hmm.
and there was something interesting in the data, and that was like the NPS this customer had was really high. It was like 90, around like 80, 90. Everything above 75 is perfect. So like close to really like awesome, like 90 something.
Hmm.
And then we saw something interesting. A number of people that were in a customer support, because this was a survey done through customer support channel of communication between
Hmm.
the vendor and the end customers. And so we saw a huge number of support tickets and also big or positive, like largely a positive NPS or satisfaction score overall.
Hmm.
And we were like, okay, this is good, but I mean, you have, for example, repeating customers that are going back to your support channel and they keep having these different problems. And yeah, they are happy with the service.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that's actually the question. Are they happy with the service or are they happy with support service? Because
Mm.
what are you measuring if you keep having same customers over and over, having different problems, and your customer support is, like solving those problems, which is awesome, but you're not really measuring how satisfied they are with the service. You're measuring how satisfied they are with customer support.
With support.
Yeah. So, and then we figured that, I mean, this is completely different story right now. We implemented
Yeah. Yeah.
something else that will periodically, touch base with customers, and then we got more realistic
Yeah.
response. So, do you do something similar to this?
No, not yet. Not yet. No, I think we still need to grow a bit more to get to that point.
Mm.
For now, it's like everything is like we can still
More
manage
personal,
with
I
the
guess.
yeah, yeah, we can still manage each client like personally.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah.
So we don't have 200 clients that it's getting.
Yeah. On the other hand, you can always do something like that, and it's actually right now, even with AI, whether you like it or not. I mean, you can vibe code like a
Yeah,
small like piece of software that will send these surveys out, and it will help you maybe even acquire more customers on inbound because when your existing customers give you positive feedback, you can put it on the website, I guess, and it grows
yeah,
that way as well.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of this putting reviews on this platform like G2, Trustpilot, and all that. That could also be interesting
I hate those
channel
platforms,
maybe.
by the way. I
You hate those
really,
platforms?
I hate those platforms. Yeah, because all of those platforms were built to upsell insanely expensive something that shouldn't be that expensive, especially G2,
Yeah,
especially G2, actually. Yeah, I really we are using it and we are happy for what it does. But I mean, even like customization of the platform requires like I forgot the
yeah,
numbers really. I might be wrong. It might not be like insanely expensive, but I was not happy with what they were offering. So
yeah. I don't know. I'm not a paid customer from G2, but it's with the free plan, it's a bit limited,
yeah,
which makes sense, right? They need to make money, right?
yeah,
But it's a bit limited. You see all the boxes that you can tweak from your dashboard and everything is blocked.
yeah,
And they
yeah,
say you click now, this is a premium feature. Oh, this is a premium feature. Like, come on.
yeah, yeah. Well, exactly.
It's a-
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, like,
yeah,
like to each their own. What's next
but
for
yeah.
like where do you see Datamorph in like 5 to 10 years from now? What's happening? What's the end? What's the end game? Are you selling IPO? What is it?
I think IPO so no, it's not definitely it's
It's
too far.
different game. It's different
It's
game.
a
Yeah,
different game. It's a different game. We are in the startup phase. We need to reach we need to grow a bit, then we need to go to the scale up phase, and IPO is definitely too far. No, I'm not sure if it's even a goal. I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how to answer your question.
but do you see like a company or already existing business that Datamorph is complementing their own offerings? So at some point, do you see them being like acquiring company?
That I'm of acquiring another company or the other way around.
Other way around.
I think yes, I think it can happen. I think it can happen because we are in a basically I think it's called iPaaS, integration platform as a service.
Hmm.
This thing is growing a lot, especially since AI. Like it's getting the market is growing a lot,
Yeah.
and more developers or companies are, creating their own products. And we are not the first ones, we are not the biggest, but we're there before a lot of others. So we have, I don't know, I think we're getting a bit more presence than many others. So we have kind of the advantage here.
Yeah.
So at some point we'll make enough noise so that Zapier, Make, N8N, I don't know, all these ones will say, hey, careful with these people. Like let's buy them before they make too much noise. That thing is something could happen. Like I don't know if it's good or bad, or maybe, but I think it's something could happen eventually.
Yeah, that's the big question. Is it good or
Yeah,
bad? I mean,
I don't know. Actually,
yeah,
I had some of my managers before some years ago. They told me that actually that's the most likely outcome for companies like mine.
yeah,
Like you create the product, you start to make a bit of noise, you start to get some clients from the big fish, and then they realize that you exist. They say, like, let's buy them now that they are still cheap and small, and they just remove you from the competition. And
yeah,
this is a quite common strategy.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
been told, never seen it, but been told that.
It is for sure. It's happening. So revenue-wise, if it's not a secret, where are you right now?
Right now we are somewhere around 10K, 10,
10K.
12K. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's okay. Like it's for a bootstrap small company where we here for 1 year and a half. Actually, like the first few months, or almost the first year, it was only me.
Yeah.
Now we have four.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so now is from this year, since January, actually, is when we are starting to see that we're going up a bit. The first year it was just me struggling, trying to figure out a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of how things work. I
Yeah,
guess the first time entrepreneur, right? Like, sure, a lot of people can relate with that.
definitely.
And
Definitely. I
yeah,
mean, but that's like a curse of like being a founder. It's you have to sell, and if you're not born to sell, then you have to find someone, but you can never hire someone to do better job at selling of your own product than yourself.
no,
And yeah, it's always this like crazy loop back that you get to find yourself in. This is my second business right now, and from time to time, I keep like thinking about I want to replace myself, and
yeah,
either do something else or take like a year off and then
yeah. I guess what you like is to create something, right? From
yeah.
you like it, but I guess it's also when you not for you is the second time. I guess the second time you did it way more efficient than the first time,
I
right?
think so. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was more. I think it was
And
smoother probably.
yeah, it was definitely smoother, but I think I learned more from my first.
Hmm.
And I think in your case, the acquisition might actually be good thing for yourself personally because it will wrap up one thing like you will feel a completion there and you will be free
Yeah,
to move on, to
yeah,
move on, either continue like developing this under this new wing of like whoever acquired you or just start building something new from the scratch. So,
correct.
people
Yeah,
who
it's
love doing
also
that are really, in that mindset.
yeah, it's also complicated to know when it's the right time for you to just let go of your baby, right? Because you created something and you've been working on it for several years, and then like, okay, now it's going to be the property of somebody else, and they can do with it whatever they want, right? They have the right to do that. But then it's, I guess, complicated. If that moment arrives for me and for other people who who saw that moment for themselves, like, I guess it's tough to say, okay, I'm stepping down. Like, I did my job. My job is done here. I'll move on to the next thing, and now it's for somebody else to take care of this.
But it's important
But
for
we'll
you
see.
to feel that you have this completion, that you did your job and you were rewarded
Yeah,
hefty, afterwards. Like if those things align, it all just makes sense.
yeah. We'll see. I'll let you know if that happens, if that ever happens to me.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I
But
wish
yeah,
you'll have this problem in the future. It's a good problem to have anyways.
it's a good problem to have, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
By the way, for any potential VC or customers, prospects that you want to drive your way, what's the best way for people to find you?
Hmm. Main website, datamorf.io. There's a link to book a demo directly with me, or LinkedIn. I don't know if you are going to put the links and all that stuff
In
in
the
the description of the.
description, yeah.
Yeah, so you can put everything there. But yeah, just Datamorf or Datamorf, depending on how you pronunciate it, .io. And
Cool.
that's, well, actually, we are ranking good. If you search Datamorf on Google, all the first page it's on us. It's
Oh,
our stuff.
you're confident you'll be first, right?
I am. You can check it yourself. You can check it yourself.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'll
I checked
definitely do that.
before. I checked before just to be sure. But yeah.
So
Datamorph with F.
do I go with one
Data,
word or you wanna?
yeah. One word, just one word. Datamorph
And
with with an F.
what if I feel lucky and I say Datamorf 2 words and
I think as long as you write it with F, should be
well,
fine.
actually, oh, okay, you're right. Actually, it's
There we go.
yeah. There's morph data. I'm not sure.
Morph data. Okay, that's
Yeah,
not, wait, that's
something
not
else.
us.
But you're definitely first. Uh, not taking into account sponsored. Yeah, you're first.
Yeah.
Congrats, man. That's good.
Thanks, man. Yeah. We did some SEO job here. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, by the
Congrats.
way, did you look into like how does AI SEO, whatever it's called now, works?
Mhm.
Did you have to do some like tweaking on your website to make it more like, ChatGPT, Claude, etc. friendly?
We are putting a lot of content on the blog site,
Mm.
just so AIs that scrape the websites, they know how we work, how the
Yeah.
platform works, what are the use cases and everything. We're putting a lot of content there. And from time to time, also putting some comments on LinkedIn, on Reddit here and there. People say
Cool.
that OpenAI is feeding a lot from Reddit, right? So just
Mm.
need to put some content there. But that's
Interesting.
it, not much more actually. It's something that we should do eventually, but step by step, mm, eventually we'll do it. I don't know. Did you put some effort there?
Yeah, some
Yeah.
minor.
And
Yeah,
how is it going?
well, essentially, I mean, it boils down to common sense, I think. Um, there were the only changes the big changes, not counting like, content creation, was
Hmm.
around data structuring for each page. For some reason, it requires for data to be structured in a specific way. So we
Hmm.
had to do that. But then
Yeah.
Yoast plugin for WordPress sites is really
Yeah.
um,
I also saw
capable.
I saw a, a website that they had at the bottom of the page. They had the human mode, and then they have the machine mode.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
you could toggle. I don't know if it's actually doing something on SEO or
Huh.
GEO. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But if you click the machine mode, that you could see the content, but with a markdown file,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's it.
Okay. That's
And like
interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know the effect of that on AI search engines,
Huh.
but it was interesting to see. I will ask the guy
Yeah.
actually. I know the guy, so I will ask him like, did that
Nice.
make sense or?
Yeah, definitely let me know. I'll definitely like to learn more about it.
Yeah.
The biggest changes we did was restructuring, what do you call it? Well, I mean, restructuring content, focusing more on
Hmm.
glossary, on like we're doing guides.
Okay.
So there's a lot of how-to articles from way before that the AIs liked.
Yeah.
So now we are focusing more on that, like
On
practical
how
stuff,
to's.
how-tos, a lot
Yeah.
of
Okay.
how-tos, a lot of guides. And a guide essentially is something that it's a type of post that will always be true. And then you have these different supporting articles,
Hmm.
how-tos, blog posts, whatever. And the example would be,
Okay.
for example, how should you plan your monitoring ecosystem in the organization?
Okay.
Infrastructure monitoring, right? So, like, how does this planning project should work? And since that's the part of our offering throughout, service offering, that made sense for us to create to be like a guide, and then we're working on supporting articles around it. And at the end of
Hmm.
the day, the reason why it's important is like AI is figuring that, okay, so these guys have authority to talk about this and that because, X percentage of their posts is how to's. guides and all the stuff that actually can help other people,
Oh, yeah.
learn
Okay.
and understand and so on. So it's common sense, and you don't really think about it until machine tells you, yeah, I saw your website and it doesn't really mean anything to me. You have to work on selling to humans.
Yeah.
It's not about buzzwords. It's about being plain and simple in your offering and concrete what your offer is, what the
Yeah.
product. That's why I started this conversation, like, well, what is the problem that you're solving? So if you're clear in your
Hmm.
messaging on the website, that's they like that. They will prioritize you for sure. So
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. The how-to thing. Probably
yeah.
I'll need to do that as well.
Yeah, a
Add
lot
some
of technical
how-to's blogs
stuff.
here and there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And
And
even
technical
it,
stuff, like get technical, you mean, so the
and
AI knows
also,
that
well,
you're an expert.
exactly, but it depends who your ICP is, right? So if
Hmm.
your ICP is decision maker who is not really technical, you don't want to go there. You want to create supporting
Yeah.
articles for your pillar guides that are readable, understandable by your ICP. If your ICP is decision
Hmm.
making person who's not really technical, then you don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But we have this situation where people who research our capabilities, they know what they want. They know what the consulting firm has to have in terms of like stack and understanding of different technologies and so on. So we had to go more technical because that's our ICP.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's correct. That makes sense. Interesting. We'll need to do another round of thinking on that.
Well, I mean,
But yeah.
you're a small startup, and you will definitely benefit from investing in someone who can consult you when it comes to
Hmm.
positioning. I think it's important to do it on time.
Yeah. Yeah. Start the sooner the better, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks again. We already went through contact info. We'll post it in the
Yeah. Yeah. It's
description.
posted there. Yeah.
Cool. I enjoyed the conversation, man, and I
Yeah.
wish
Pretty
you all the
interesting.
luck.
Yeah.
Let's stay in touch, and
Let's stay in touch, definitely.
I'll share you the YouTube. You can see these the AI music I tried to play to you before.
Okay. Oh yeah. Share that with me. I don't know. Maybe I discover my new AI favorite band or something like that.
Ha, ha, ha. I don't think you will. You're the guy you're the guy who pushes back on
Yeah,
AI,
a
obviously.
bit, a
So
bit. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
cool.
okay. All
Thanks,
right,
man.
man.
Much appreciated.
Pleasure. Yeah. Nice to see you.
See ya.
Bye.